I would like to follow up on the last meeting that we had over here. That we had a back and forth with the mayor. And the mayor accused me, or some people, that he can't get people on the boards because nobody wants to get on the boards, be in the planning, zoning, the other boards. And I was thinking into this whole situation, and this is what I got. You're looking for 1% of the residents in Lakewood. Means is 99% of people in Lakewood, if they would have come on the boards, they would have looked what is good, and they wouldn't have looked for servicing the developers. We're looking to put people on the board that they are looking to service the developers. And how do I test that? You know, you're always saying is, why are you making these type of accusations? How do you know that? Where do you have proof on that? My test is when it comes to sidewalks. When I see a board member, the developers, for some reason, the developers in Lakewood hate sidewalks. It's costing them money. When I see a board member is advocating that it shouldn't be sidewalk, I know his agenda is to serve as the developer, because it makes no sense in such a town to go against sidewalks. Now, we have Justin Flensbaum. I'm calling him out by the name because he was a big advocate not to have sidewalks in certain parts of town. He advocated to get a guy in Bruce Stern. He actually is now the new chairman when it comes to the Eagle Ridge. And something very interesting happened. There's another guy on the planning board, Mr. Sable. He is actually advocating very strong for sidewalks. And when it came to Eagle Ridge, when it's dealing with the biggest developer in town, the guy that has the most influence, he's gone. He's not on the board. For some reason, he's not there. And who is the person that is the chairman? Bruce Stern. Now, last night, by the planning board, there was a strip of 100 feet that the developer wanted to get a waiver for that sidewalk. And Mr. Sable was advocating and saying his people walk over there, including his wife, and that the sidewalk is needed. And Bruce Stern was very blunt that the township will never fill in the rest of the sidewalks. They'll never do it. And we shouldn't ask the developer to do his part 100 feet. And I was like shocked. What? After all what we went through, all these arguments, that sidewalks is needed, not only you, you mayor, advocating for it, the rest of the committee. I was by the county. They told me in Lakewood, there's county roads. In Lakewood, there's no such a thing as a county road. We will say is no sidewalks. So the fact is that we have a planning board member still advocating for not sidewalks, and he is just a newcomer on the board. That is very troubling. Yes, I found out he didn't take yet the course, the state course that you have to take by the planning board. He has 18 months, so he might not know what he's doing on the board. He might think is that he just has to give the developers what they want, but it's not acceptable. Mr. Sable is advocating for sidewalks because he's a solo member. He works in emergencies. He sees what happens when there's no sidewalks, so good for him that's advocating for it. But I think you should have a talk, I don't know how, but relay that message that anybody, anyone that will go against sidewalks in Lakewood should not be on the board.
Very good.
You have a comment on that?
A few, yeah. I have to get the specifics as to what the thinking was on that, and I'll look into that. I agree. I also will say that there's never 100% on anything. As much as I want to advocate for sidewalks, there have been issues sometimes where not having a sidewalk in a particular area made sense. So I'm not going to presume that he's doing it for any particular reason until I have an opportunity to have a conversation, which I'll do with the planning board attorney, I should say. But going back to your original comment, and I think it kind of ties into what Dana was saying a couple of minutes ago, which is that the speech that's out there and people are being put through on blogs, whatever, it's not right. It's not who we are. Somebody shouldn't worry about accepting a position on a board for the town or even running for a township office because they're afraid that their family is gonna be put through hell by the comments, a lot of them false, misleading, to try and keep people from doing it. It's not right, I disagree with it, I'm not blaming you for that. All I'm saying is, as a people, we should be able to do a lot better than that. As a town like Lakewood, given our history, given who we are, and how we're made up, the population of this town, we should be fighting anything that hurts people or denigrates people without explicit proof. And even then, these blogs and stuff, I just think, whether it be Rise Up Ocean County or some of the other ones, they have no place in our society. I think that as a people, we should ignore them. And if we have an issue with somebody, we should talk to them face to face. Or come to a meeting like you do today. Put yourself out there, your name, your address, people know who you are, and we can have an honest conversation. Again, like I said, whether we disagree 95 or 99% of the time.
I thought we agree 95% of the time.
What I'm saying is, it doesn't matter if we agree or disagree, we can still have a civil conversation, we can have a laugh with each other, and we can look each other in the eye and shake hands at the end of the day. That's the kind of place that we want this town to be. We can disagree, but we can still get along, we can put our points forward without having to use foul language or denigrate anybody for any reason. That's the only point I was trying to get across to you.
So do you need help with getting people on the boards?
I'll let you know.
Because I know a lot of individuals that want to be on the board, they have no problem.
I'm always willing to talk to somebody. I've never refused to meet with anybody who's interested in working on the township.
Except for Robinson.
Who?
Rob Robinson.
He's never asked me to serve on the board. I would never turn it down for anything.
I won't put you the words now is, but I'll show you in the beginning of 2018, my minutes is up. 2018, actually, Mr. Tom Gaddy came up and asked you, why didn't you put Rob Robinson on the board that they asked you? And you answered, he's a divider. And that's the reason why you don't want him on the board. A few months later, he was attacked. I'm not blaming you for it, but no, I'm not.
Okay. Time's up, we'll have another conversation, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else like to be heard? We'll close the public session, because they already left, I was going to apologize and go.